Oh shit, no, that's not the right bike. Yeah, that's better. Ducati is one of the brands that most of us dream about. It's one of the ultimate expressions of exotic on two wheels. The Monster is the all-time best-selling model of Ducati. Now that the 2021 version has been released, I think it's high time that I hop onto one of the older classic models that started the craze. The 796. It's not all that old, but it kinda is if you look at the lineup. A lot were released after it. It's one of my favorites and it really started the trend and the craze for monsters in India. So let's hop on for a ride. The spec sheet is mad even by today's standards. The 803cc L-twin or 90-degree V-twin, whichever you prefer, uses Ducati's famous desmodromic valve system, which really makes that exhaust note super sweet. The Monster makes a monumental 87 bhp and 78.5 Newton meters of torque, which makes it extremely fast. Now it's time for me to hop on the saddle and show you what that feels like. Riding this beast is unlike anything else. I mean, sure, it has its shortcomings, but this bike is more than 9 years old, for God's sake. The instrumentation looks ancient, the vibes are crazy, and the overall feel of the engine is very old school, and the overall refinement, well, there isn't any. Also, if you're not in a gear's absolutely perfect speed range, the bike will start knocking so much that you'll think there's rocks dancing around in the pistons. But honestly, when it's this fun, picks up speed like a tree falling off a cliff, and has a soundtrack that makes you go weak in the knees, all of these shortcomings really don't matter. Nothing matters, because in that moment it's just you and that 803cc L-twin. The engine of this bike is an all-consuming element. It puts that entire mountain of power and torque quite literally at your fingertips. At full chat, you'll be picking up speed quicker than you can keep track of it, and honestly, I love the old school raw nature of the engine. The rumbling and the exhaust noise is addictive, to say the least. The forward inclined riding posture, coupled with the maniacal performance and wailing coming out through the exhaust, tells each nerve in your body that the Monster is not to be messed around with. In this level of performance today, you get a whole suite of electronics on the bikes to make sure the performance is more accessible and that the bike is easier to tame. In the 796, however, there are no electronics or safety features whatsoever. Traction control? What's that? On this old school brute, it's just you, the machine, and your bravery. While ABS was an optional extra on the 796, this bike does not have that option ticked. So yes, when I said no safety features at all, I meant it. All in all though, this is one of the most raw and exhilarating machines I've ridden. The Monster is true all-time Italian legend. This bike has literal tons of road presence. The red paint coupled with the exposed trellis frame, that massive 180 section rear tire, topped off by those enormous twin raised exhausts, looks absolutely fantastic. The single-sided swing arm too is a thing of beauty, and the whole bike oozes exotic motorcycle appeal. I mean, come on, just look at it. When it was launched, the Monster 796 was one of the easiest entry points into the world of big biking. And now, so many years later, it still continues to provide maximum thrills and ultimate engagement to the rider. I really love this bike. In fact, it's the first Ducati that I ever rode. What was the first Ducati you ever rode? Tell me in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment.